Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Duos Gaming in our World of Tanks series. Today I'm going to be showing a couple spotlight videos of the M103. So the M103 is one of the older tanks in the game. It's a Tier 9 American Heavy tank. The Tier 9 American Heavies haven't really been modified very much in the past few years. But nonetheless, they've withstood this test of time and are still very influential on the battlefield, as we will be showing you here in a second. I'm just going to speed up a little bit until we get to the more action-filled parts. Alright, coming into the battle here, I decided to give Cody a little bump there because he spun me around, if you were able to see that speed up thing. But the T10 is rather weakly armored, so I'm able to go into sniper mode, take a shot at him, do 324 damage, and I get shot by something. Probably the T10 as well. The M103's armor is definitely nothing to write home about, so you have to be smart about your positioning in this tank. Like most Americans, the strongest point is its turret. However, there are some extreme weak points on the top of the turret. The entire top of the turret is not very heavily armored. I decided to get into the base here just to prevent any capping. As you should be in heavy tanks, you should be going into the cap circle, unlike the heavies, the one heavy in the south in K2 there. I don't really know what he's doing. So right now, Cody and I are just waiting for an opportunity to go after somebody. And then appears a wild WZ, a Tier 9 Chinese heavy tank, I believe. Yeah, Chinese, definitely not Japanese. Those are the Type 5s, or the types. And I just start ripping it apart. I've hit 2 shots into it now. Cody hit his track. We're about to get a second shot off, or the third shot. Get the third shot. I'm like, alright, Cody, you should be able to get this. And E75's reload's rather poor. And he hits the track again. Got some great aiming by my platoon mate there, and it cost me another shot. Thank you, Cody. I look at him with a little bit of disgust. And right now we're just slowly moving the pace of battle along. I'm going to let that VK take the front of that, and he's being extremely aggressive, and I'm going to get some shots into the lower plate of the other VK. Cody decides to get out there, show his armor a bit, and I know that I got to take out this Jig-Tig. An easy shot into the lower plate of that Tier 8 premium heavy tank destroyer is almost a guaranteed pen for the M103, unless it's really well angled. I told Cody to back up there because his gun was actually blocking the shot on the the T10, so I was able to take the T30. I was able to take the T30 out. And Cody's kind of getting stuck in the battle here. We kind of let the VK to die, which was an unfortunate turn of events, but we would have been shot in the side by the T30 if we didn't take him out first. And right now, I am using Cody as a meat shield because he's got the better armor for this situation. And I know that he has the more likely chance to ricochet the shells. However, I have the more punchy cannon, and unfortunately, Cody backs up there, and I shoot the shot into the back of his tank. So I begin to get a little sick of the IS-3 still being there. So the IS-3 is an easy pen to the top plate in a Tier 9 tank. It doesn't have great armor over the top of its tank. The M103, the IS-3 tracks me. I back up, get another shot into him, and the Tier 8 VK gets in my way there. But that's alright. It seems like he's shooting HE shells at the IS-3. Oh, maybe he didn't actually take a shot there. And then I get the last shot into his upper plate there. And right now, something that people don't really understand with the American heavy tanks is that you can sideswipe to an extent in these tanks. I get a shot off on the 5120, 420 something. That was a high roll. And right now I'm just sideswiping to prevent as much damage as possible getting into my tank here.
We're securing the base. Enemies got us in their sights.
So I get a shot over on that conqueror to take him out. And I start getting a little worried about the artillery, and of course the artillery hits me, leaving me at 52 hit points left. RT rate heads out there. He gets obliterated by the 5120. I don't really know what his plan was there.
Go, go, go!
I tried to get another shot off on the Foch, and I get taken out by the Foch while trying to avoid the artillery shell. But nonetheless, that was a pretty good game. We're just gonna skip to the end. We're gonna start another replay of another ace tanker. Alright guys, jumping into the second game here on Baya. Now this replay is going to be a little interesting, as you just saw me there go into sniper mode. So what I did is that I recorded the previous game, clipped the previous game on the M103 ace tanker, and then I go on to play this game directly after it, and I forget that I am still recording. Which means you guys are going to see a little bit of a live action. You'll be able to see the sniper mode, which is going to be extremely more pleasant. I wish that Wargaming would put sniper mode into the replay system. But another thing that's going to be unique about this game is the teamwork that myself and Cody and his Z75 are going to do to win this game. Now it's a great matchup for our tanks. Only half of each team are tier 9s. Cody runs right into that Russian heavy tank. I don't really know why. And I take a moving shot on the bog whore. I never think that's going to go in, but you miss all the shots you don't take, right? So what our plan is now, we're going around this corner. Normally when Cody and I are playing in heavy tanks, we always go down the western side of this map because it's just such a linear passage that the heavy tanks do really well in. And as usual, since Cody's more heavily armored, I let him go first. And he instantly gets attacked by the new tier 8 Polish premium tank. Now I'm a little underwhelmed by the Polish premium. I didn't buy the tank, so I'm not made of money. And but so far what I've seen is the armor is not very good, and the cannon is a little bit lackluster as well. Especially since he just dinged me again. And I shoot at the turret ring of the bog whore. Remember that the mutant's weak point in the front is its turret ring. Don't try to shoot the lower plate, you're going to ricochet every time. But the decent accuracy and aim time of the M103 allows me to take out the bog horror in 2 shells. And we start working on the 50 TP. And I'm just getting shot after shot on the lower plate. It's not really the tank's fault there. The driver of that tank just doesn't really know how to use his armor yet, which is understandable. I think this was like the 3rd or 4th day that the TP was in the game, so people are still learning how to play the tank. So right now we're just getting shot after shot. You can see the counting damage, which also you're not able to see in the replay function for some reason, but I'm up to 1400 damage so far, and I've ricocheted 880 without taking any damage myself. So right now we're at a little bit of a disadvantage. We just lost our artillery, and we are down by 2 tanks. I get a moving shot on the Alpine Tiger. Cody gets a shot on him, and Cody for some reason starts pushing the Alpine Tiger up the slope there. I don't really know what that was for, but nonetheless, we take out the Alpine. And we start heading towards the base, once I repair my track. That shot seemed like it went right through my tank, which is rather lucky. And this Goranich there kind of made it a little difficult for me to get around him. So I go all the way around this way and try to take some shots on the heavy and the tank destroyer that's in the base. Now this heavy and the tank destroyer, I believe is an Object 257 and the Tier 9... WZ 111G. That's the Tier 9 tank destroyer for the Chinese. I decided to auto-aim through here because I was getting a little bit of weird clipping when it came to the railing there. So I decided to just auto-aim and shoot through the railing to hit the side of the WZ. And the side armor of the WZ is nothing good. And that 257 I decided is not much of a threat to me, but the M103 that's coming in will be. But Cody tells me that the 257 is facing its side to us, so I decided to try and take a shot at him, but I didn't reload in time, so I start taking apart the M103. And you see this little light tank come in and ram? Our heavy? That was kind of a weird decision, but I take him out. Cody gets hit by the artillery, but the artillery only does 88 damage to him, and I look, and the artillery is a Crusader. So the artillery shoots again at Cody, and I take out that M103 in his turret ring. So at this point, we brought back the game. We have enabled our team to come back against our. At one point, we were 3 kills behind. Right now, Cody and I are talking about splitting up so that he can fight on the south, and I will take the north. But I'm not able to see any of those northern tanks yet, so I decided to take a shot at the T-34. I penned the T-34. And can I get another shot on him? Doesn't look like it. I'm going to decide to just take a blind shot on him, hoping to pen here soon. Yeah, right at his turret ring. Yeah, I'm not accurate enough for that. It's not going to go in. But nonetheless, the T-34 decides to show himself again. So I get another clean shot, or I almost got another clean shot. And right now it's just kind of a waiting game for that medium tank to show himself on the north. That E-50 decides to peek out along with the Goranich and I believe an E-75. So I decide to turn my attention towards them so Cody can fight in the south. And this was a really pivotal moment for us to split up, because if it wasn't for Cody going towards the south, I would have been flanked, and if it wasn't for me fighting in the north, then Cody would have been flanked. I'm having some pretty bad RNG right now, shooting at that E-75. And I track the E-75 up there, and I decide that the most pressing matter right now is the Goranich. And everybody knows the radio man sitting point there is the weak point on the Goranich. And it's pretty easy to take out. The T-34 decided to take a shot on me, so I'm going to shoot back at him. I pen him for doing 427, which is a pretty meaty roll. Doesn't really matter. I was never going to kill the T-34 in one shot anyways. It looks like our team decided to take out the artillery, which is good for Cody because apparently that artillery has been bullying him all game. And I take out the Goranich with my second shot on him. So right now I'm up to almost 5,300 damage. Cody takes out that E-75, and right now we're looking pretty good. It's now a 3 versus 3. Oh, Cody took out the E-50, not the E-75. I take out the E-75, and we turn our attention back to the T-34 and the HMH. And the HMH is able to take out the Object 257, but that's not much of an issue for us right now because it's platoon versus platoon, and we're in tier 9s, they're in tier 8s. It's pretty self-explanatory what's about to happen. But as you can see right now, I am up to 5,600 damage. Cody takes out the T-34. And now it's just a matter of getting some damage on the HMH. I whiff a shot into the tracks there. In retrospect, I probably should have aimed. But, he takes out my turret ring, which makes me unable to snap a shot at. I repair the turret ring, though. I haven't actually used a repair kit before that. And the next shot, the HMH is going to be taken out. And I thought I was going to shoot Cody there. I would have been super angry if he would have stolen my brothers in arms for that. But, not brothers in arms, stolen my Top Gun for that. But nonetheless, let's look at some post-game stats here. Here's the first game. We get the Ace Tanker. And we get High Caliber. Those are really the only Battle Hero medals that we're getting. We're able to do 5,000 damage, which is enough for a High Caliber in most tier 9 only games. And we destroyed 5 tanks and blocked 1,100. Not terrible. The second game was definitely a lot better. But this just shows you that even though the M103 may be a little bit out of the meta right now, but it is still powerful. Now looking at the game on Baya. We get the Ace Tanker again and the High Caliber again, this time doing 6,300 damage. And due to the extremely good team play that Cody and I had, and just map awareness like you should have by now, and if you're playing in tier 9, tier 10s, we're able to pick up the Brothers in Arms as well. And personally, I'm able to pick up the Top Gun. So overall, very influential games in the E-75 and the M103. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. And if you guys want to see Cody's perspective with his E-75 on the Baja map, There's going to be a link in the description, so make sure to go check that out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you in the next one.